Hi guys, welcome back to English with Max. In this video we're going to look at some nature vocabulary. We're not actually out in the wild, we're at the Botanic Gardens. So it's sort of organized nature, but it's a very nice place to come for a walk. My mum is again helping me film this video. Hi Mum. If you'd like to learn more advanced vocabulary, remember that I also send out a free advanced English email lesson every 2 weeks. If you want to subscribe to that, you'll find the link in the description. If you want to improve your grammar, remember that I also have a course on Udemy which covers 55 common mistakes made by English learners. If you'd like to receive my special discount for that, you'll find the link in the description as well. Okay guys, let's get going. This is the sign that's out the front of the gardens. Okay, it's not nature vocabulary, but I thought there were some interesting things here. I think it's quite obvious what these mean. No dogs, no bikes, no skateboards. They also use reclaimed water. Basically they're using treated sewage water and you shouldn't drink it. I guess they have these so they don't get sued. Some warnings. There are some like ponds and things, so you should be careful where you walk. I suppose that's what they mean by water hazard. The ground is a bit uneven in places, so some places it's not totally flat or smooth. There can be falling branches, in other words, bits falling from trees. And there is some wildlife in here, so there are some animals wandering around. As they say, use of this facility may be hazardous. Please be careful. So we're going to do our best not to fall in the water. This thing behind me is a pond, this area of water, and the plants on the pond are called lilies. Oh look, there's an animal. There's some sort of lizard in there. Can you see it? There's some wildlife. It's not moving. I think it's real. There you can see another lizard enjoying the sun. Now this here is called a stump. It's the bit that's left of the tree when it's been cut. This type of plant here is called a vine. A vine is a plant that grows on other things. It sort of climbs and clings to other plants and structures. What we're walking on here are called paths. That's a path, that's another path. We're not actually allowed to go down this path, but those plants that you can see in there that grow in the water, those are mangroves. Mangroves. This thing here is a sprinkler. It's what they use to water the gardens if there's not enough rain. Here we have another stump, and on the ground we've got various things. There are lots of dead leaves. These are dead leaves. There are also lots of sticks. Now, a stick is something like this, but if the stick is quite thin, like these ones, we call them twigs. So a twig is just a thin stick. Here we have another vine. Like I said, a vine is a plant that grows on something else. So here we have a vine growing on this big tree. Here we have another tree, I'm sure you know that word. The outer part of the tree is called bark. This is bark. It's a bit like the skin of a tree. This here is a big piece of bark that was on the ground. Some trees regularly shed their bark. That means that they lose their bark. The bark falls down. After they shed their bark, new bark grows. Now here are a couple of things that you don't find in nature, but are still good to know. This area here where it goes down is a gutter. You also have gutters in the street and also on houses. It's where rainwater goes. These little rocks here are called gravel. It's uncountable, so we say some gravel. This plant here is called a fern. So all of these plants here, they're ferns. This is another type of fern. This is called a tree fern. And this here is a bench, which is something that we often have in gardens and parks. These are the roots of a very large tree. Here you can see more of the tree. The roots are the part that go under the ground. Okay guys, I'm very excited because I didn't expect to see this here. The green stuff growing on this path is called moss. Moss. It often grows on rocks and trees. It grows in damp places. Damp means a bit wet. It needs quite a lot of water to grow. That bird there is called a bush turkey, and they're very common in this region of Australia. That big bird there is a kookaburra. That's the bird that's got the really interesting laugh. Here we have another tree. The main central part of a tree is called the trunk. The pieces that grow out from the trunk are called branches. This here is a branch. On this tree you can really see a lot of the roots. Normally roots are underground, but here a lot of them are above ground. And there's the bush turkey. This bird over here is called an ibis. They eat basically anything they can find, so you often see them on school playgrounds after lunch. Here we have another bird. That there is a duck showing us its behind. This is another pond. It's much bigger than the one we saw before, but we still call this pond. The plants on the pond are called lilies, or water lilies. And there's our friend the duck. I'm not sure if you can see it, but down there we have a turtle. This bird here is building a nest. That little pile there, that's a type of nest. Now these trees here are palm trees. Here we have a few different types of palm trees. Here we have some flowers. This part of the flower is called the stem. This is a stem. These things here on the outside are petals. This flower has lots of petals. The powdery stuff in the middle is called pollen. Pollen. That's the stuff that causes lots of allergies. This little thing here is called a bud. So before a flower blooms, before it opens, it's a bud. So a bud is like a baby flower. These flowers are called daisies. There are lots of different types of daisies though. As you can see, I'm on the grass here. I know that in some places in the world you're not supposed to walk on the grass in public gardens, but here it's allowed, and sometimes they even have signs in places that say, please walk on the grass. Here we have a rose bush. There's only one rose on it at the moment, but there are lots of buds, which means that it will probably be in full bloom very soon. If a plant is in full bloom, that means there are lots of flowers on it. Now, roses have something a little bit special. They have thorns. There are other plants with thorns, but roses are well known for having thorns. Thorns are the little sharp things that grow from the stems. These little plants here are called weeds. Weeds are plants that are generally undesirable and grow very quickly. There aren't a lot of weeds in the Botanic Gardens because there are gardeners here. In other words, there are people who are paid to take care of the gardens and get rid of the weeds. And by the way, weed is a slang term for marijuana as well. Thanks very much for watching, everyone. I hope you found this educational. If you liked the video, please hit the thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you don't want to miss any new videos. And remember that you can also sign up for my free email lessons if you want. Take care, everyone. I'll see you next time. Remember that I have... There's a baby crying. It's tough filming outside. The bush turkey was interested in my bag.